DCEU is dead. All the characters you love are gone. It's all gone to... I can't say bad words on YouTube anymore. Let's deep dive into it. Hey guys, I'm Karl. Welcome to my movie film show. Feel free to subscribe down below if you would like to. But today we're talking about the death of the DCEU. Might be over-exaggerating a little bit, but let's get into it. Now, unless you've been living under a rock for God knows how long, you'll know that just before Christmas 2022, that was last year already, shortly before then, word began to spread of change in the DCEU. James Gunn and Peter Safran took charge at DC Studios and it looked like something was afoot. On December 7th, The Hollywood Reporter broke the story that Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 was no longer moving forward. The project was described as dead. Can't get more definitive than that. As I said, we're going to deep dive into this one. I'm going to go all the way back through all the events of DC because I wanted to wait until everything was out, or at least most of it was out, before I made a video on this. So rumors began to spread that Patty Jenkins actually quit on the project. She walked out when she got bad feedback, bad criticism on her script. There's even one rumor suggesting that she sent a Wikipedia link to studio heads on character arcs, which is pretty damn funny when you consider one of those studio heads is James Gunn. Another possible or potential or suspected reason for the cancellation of Wonder Woman 3 that was being thrown around at the time was for financial reasons. Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, I'm not quite sure the correct way of saying it. I'm always terrible with names. Gal Gadot was rumored to be in line for a $20 million payday for Wonder Woman 3, and Patty Jenkins was in line for a $12 million payday, which isn't bad money at all. I'd take it if I could get it. And that's not including back-end bonuses. However, when this news was reported on December 7th, I shared it here on the community page for Karl's Movie Film Show. If you haven't checked that out here on the channel, it's on the channel under the tab that says Community. I posted about this. I think I just took a Twitter post and I reposted that. And Corbin told me that it wasn't just Wonder Woman 3. Upon further inspection, I found that to be true. The Hollywood Reporter went on to report that Man of Steel 2 and Black Adam 2 were also up in the air, which of course was a huge surprise because Henry Cavill just weeks prior had donned the red cape in a post-credit scene for Black Adam. And then subsequently, he went on to Instagram to announce he was back as Superman.
Hey everyone, I wanted to wait until the weekend was over before posting this. Because I wanted to give you all a chance to watch Black Adam. But now that plenty of you have, I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come.
This made rumors of Man of Steel 2 being cancelled a little strange, a little hard to believe, especially as rumors had just come out a couple of days beforehand, rumoring that Steven Spielberg might even be involved in the project in some shape or form. Now, Black Adam, on the other hand, Black Adam 2 being scrapped made a little bit more sense because it was reported to be struggling at the box office and struggling to break even. They spent a lot of money on that movie and the marketing budget had to be similarly as big as the film budget. How that film broke even, no one's quite sure. And maybe that explains why that one was on the chopping block. However, the day after the Hollywood Reporter article, James Gunn took to Twitter. And he basically said that some of the stuff in the article was true, some of it wasn't true, some of it was kind of true, and some of it was up in the air. The day before the Hollywood Reporter article came out, on December 6th, Gal Gadot put out what looked like a suspicious post at the time. It was basically a statement saying she loved being Wonder Woman, she loved her time being Wonder Woman, she loved the fans, thank you for letting her do this role, that type of thing. However, in saying that, she did end that post saying she wasn't finished with the character, and following on what happened, the next day, that led to more rumors, because rumors persist that James Gunn still wants Gal Gadot to be Wonder Woman. And we'll get back to that later on, because I think there's an interesting point there. So we skip forward a week to December 14th, 2022. On this date, Patty Jenkins popped up with her own statement, more or less saying that all the rumors that she quit and stormed out and threw her toys out of her pram and quit the project were all untrue. She clarified that the studio is the one that chose to go a different direction. She went on to say that she loved making the film, working with Gal Gadot, and thanked the fans before saying, screw it, I'm going to go make Star Wars. I do that as well. Interestingly, on this same day, December 14th, Variety shared a story that James Gunn and Peter Safran were looking at making Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman, which was so successful last year, one of the cornerstones of their DCU. However, James Gunn immediately came out on Twitter and said, no, not happening. Nice little theory though, which hints that maybe another Batman is on the way. It's only like 900 Batman now. However, James Gunn did reveal on Twitter that he and Peter Safran have a new DC schedule ready to go. They have a new slate and they're going to be announcing it in early 2023. And suspiciously, right now is early 2023. So any day now. He did reveal some information on Twitter. He revealed there was going to be a new Superman movie, that it was going to focus on the earlier part of Superman's life. So probably Smallville. It's basically Smallville. A guy by the name of Greg Phillips on Twitter replied to Gunn and said, please tell me this isn't an origin movie. To which Gunn replied, no way. So that's one thing. One less origin movie in superhero movies can always be good. Gunn was also asked if he was writing or directing, to which he responded, I'm writing and I have been for a while. We don't know who is directing yet. However, a big part of this announcement of a new Superman movie was that Henry Cavill was not going to be playing Superman, despite his recent Instagram post saying that he was, and returning in Black Adam. At the same time, Henry Cavill popped up on Instagram yet again. His previous statement said, I'm back as Superman. This time he said, I'm not back as Superman. He confirmed he had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran and he would not be returning as Superman despite him announcing his return to the role weeks prior after being told to do so by the studio. This confirmation that Henry Cavill was not going to be Superman anymore confirmed the death of Man of Steel 2 and subsequently Black Adam, because they were both linked together in that story. It looked like all the DC stuff is just up in the air. It's all being thrown out the window. It was even revealed that a secret Batman project was also cancelled, which was going to star Michael Keaton. It's believed that project was Batman Beyond. That would have been pretty damn cool, and maybe they'll still do it further down the line. But we hadn't heard from Black Adam himself, Dwayne Johnson. So skip forward almost a week later to December 20th. On December 20th, Dwayne Johnson released his own statement on Twitter, interestingly stating that Black Adam will not be in the first chapter of storytelling in Safran and James Gunn's new DCEU. That first chapter, that wording leaves it open for Dwayne Johnson to return in a different chapter of storytelling as Black Adam. Potentially Henry Cavill too. Potentially Gal Gadot too. Especially as her character doesn't age. Now there is the issue of the upcoming Flash movie, which some people are very excited for. And there was rumours that Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa all had cameos in it. In fact, it was revealed that Henry Cavill had even filmed his scenes for that movie. What does it mean for that movie? Does that movie have to be re-edited now? Is that movie even going to come out now? At the time of recording, it's still slated for a June 2023 release. However, that may change when James Gunn and Peter Safran announced their first slate for DC. Given the recent controversies around Ezra Miller,
greetings, DC fandom and dumbers. Ezra Miller here.
It's kind of surprising that this movie is even going ahead. I thought this would have been one of the first movies to be scrapped by DC, if any project. But as I mentioned, it's still going ahead for the summer of 2023. Let me know if you're excited for that Flash movie, and if you'll still go see it, even though it might be meaningless in the wider DCU. And similarly, we've got Aquaman 2, which is slated for a December 2023 release. That's despite rumours of Jason Momoa, as I said, wanting to play Lobo rather than Aquaman, and the recent controversies surrounding Amber Heard following the Johnny Depp case from earlier last year. If I had to put my money on any DC project being cancelled about 3 months ago, it would have been Flash and Aquaman 2, not Wonder Woman 3, Black Adam 2, and Man of Steel 2. So ultimately, it's a ballsy move from James Gunn and Peter Safran, throwing everything out the window that they've built up so far. There's been a lot of good, there's been a lot of bad. Everything's out the window, scrap everything and start again. That's what it looks like they're doing. Although the whole Flash and Aquaman 2 thing still sticking around raises questions. Hopefully we'll get answers when they announce that first DC slate. The DCEU certainly has ups and downs. Mostly downs, but it had some ups as well. For every Suicide Squad, there was a Suicide Squad. That might have been one of the problems. There was a really bad Suicide Squad movie, and there was James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, which was a very good movie, very entertaining, very fun. And that's what most of the superhero movies should be, fun. For every Joss Whedon Justice League, there's a Zack Snyder Justice League, although why it needs to be 4 hours, who knows. For every Wonder Woman, there's a Wonder Woman 1984, and all of a sudden when you see all these movies have good versions and bad versions, you realize the timeline was getting a bit messy. It kind of made sense to just go back and start everything all again. Hopefully that's what they are doing, a full reboot, a full restart. I think that's the best option for DC going forward. Hopefully in the long run, we'll look back at a great decision from James Gunn and Peter Safran, but it could also be a complete disaster. Who knows? But one thing's for certain, we're going to be getting a lot more superhero movies. And if there's one thing the world needs right now, it's more superhero movies.